Welcome to Promise EGP System training video on invitation of e-quotations by government procuring entities. This short video will guide procuring entity liaison officers and assistant liaison officers on inviting electronic quotations. In this video, you will learn on how to do the following: entering primary details of an e-procurement, adding procurement committees and technical evaluation committees, preparation of the e-quotation, selection of vendors, and electronic invitation. To access Promise EGP system, open your internet browser and go to www.promise.lk. Notes on browser compatibility. Promise EGP system is compatible with following browsers: Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Mozilla Firefox. Browsers not listed in this video may display screen elements incorrectly or will have functionalities not working properly. After accessing the www.promise.lk, click on the login link. You should register your procuring entity in the Promise EGP system and should have login details as a liaison officer or as an assistant liaison officer to conduct the activities mentioned in this video. Please watch procuring entity registration video for more details. Enter your email and password and then click on login. Notes on login issues. If you have forgotten your password, click on the link "I forgot my password." Then enter your email to reset the password and click on the send button. Then you will receive a password reset link to your email. Therefore, you have to log into your email and click on that password reset link to access the Promise EGP system. You will get a temporary password and you'll be able to log into the EGP system. Thereafter, you have to change your password back again. In the liaison officer dashboard, click on the procurement plan. Then click on the view plans. Select the relevant annual procurement plan from the drop-down list. Click on the Action button of the relevant procurement plan line item. Then click on Add Procurement. This will lead you to the e-procurement publishing platform. There are several sections in this platform, and you are now at the primary details. Complete the primary details section with the information relevant to procurement you wish to publish. Procurement method. For this training video, we will select the procurement method as invitation for quotations shopping. Then the system will get prepared for you to invite quotations from the suppliers. Procurement category. We'll select goods in this example. Quotation number. This should be the procurement identification number allocated by the procuring entity. Title of the procurement. Total cost estimate. Funding source. Invitation for e-quotations. This should be the date and time invitation will be sent to vendors. E-quotation process start. This should be the date and time vendors can start the submission. The invitation for e-quotations and e-quotation process start time can be the same date and time or can be different. In this example, I will make them as the same time. E-quotation closing, date and time. E-quotation opening, date and time. After completing the primary details, click on the Save button. Please note that these times should be as per the 24-hour clock. If you edit the details in this section, this button will change to Edit. Then you can click on the process details and move on to the next screen. Although you can see several templates here in the drop-down, you may not see them at the very first time you start the system. These templates are user-defined, therefore when you create a new template, it will be added to the list. Select a template from the drop-down for the activity list of the process. If your organization has not saved any templates in the past, click on the Create Template link and create a template to suit the procurement you wish to carry out. Once you click on the Create Template link, this screen will appear. If the procurement is within the authority limits of the Chief Accounting Officer, Head of the Department, or the Project Director, select this option as required. Then the system automatically selects Procurement Committee as not required. If there is a Procurement Committee for this particular procurement, select Procurement Committee as required. In the same manner, make all the selections appropriately to suit your procurement. Please note the IFQ in here refers to the term invitation for e-quotations. Provide a suitable name for this template and submit. Then you can use this template again and again. You will get a guidance on the minimum number of e-quotations to be invited as per the level of authorities and financial threshold limits. Below that, you can see the selections you have earlier made for this particular template. You can change them if needed. You should click on the Save button to proceed. Adding procurement committees and technical evaluation committees. If you had selected procurement committee and technical evaluation committee under process details, you can now add them by clicking Add PC and Add TEC. Prior to adding the procurement committee and technical evaluation committee, you should have the PDF soft copies of appointment letters of those committees. To add procurement committee, click on Add PC link. The very first thing you need to do is to browse and upload the PDF soft copy of the procurement committee appointment letter. Then select the PC level of authority from the drop-down and click on Save. Then type and search the name of the chairman or each member of the procurement committee from this drop-down. Type the name of the procurement committee chairman or a member in here and see whether they are available in the list. Please check the email address correctly. For the chairman, please make a tick under this committee head checkbox and click on the Save button. Then you'll see the name of the chairman appears at the top of the screen. To select the members of the committee, type the names of the members of the procurement committee in the same manner. Select and click on Save. If their name is not listed in the existing name list, please add them under the New Members section. You have to type their name, NIC number, phone number with the country code, and the email address. And click on the Add User and Save button. Then you can see here the name of the chairperson and the members appear at the top of the screen. If required, you can remove the committee members whom you have already added by clicking the Remove button in front of the name of the procurement committee member or the chairperson. The removed members will be included in a separate section called Removed Committee Members. You can expand the section and see the names of the removed committee members. To go back to the previous screen, please click on the Go Back to Procurement link. In the same manner, at the Technical Evaluation Committee, click on View Add TEC link to add the Technical Evaluation Committee. In here, you can input other additional details such like clarification deadline. Select the clarification deadline and click on the Save button. Preparation of the e-quotation document or request for e-quotation. Click on the IFQ Documents tab. There are two standard e-quotation documents. Procurement entities shall select the most appropriate document as per the requirements of the procurement. Shopping Document 1 is recommended for use of procurement of goods up to 500,000 rupees, and the Shopping Document 2 is recommended for use of procurement of goods for more than 500,000 rupees, subject to the maximum financial threshold limits of the relevant level of authority. From the drop-down, you have to select the most appropriate e-quotation document and click on the Save button. For this training video, we select the document 2, which is the most complicated one. If you want to select document 1, don't worry. The information provided in this video to complete document 2 will be more than useful for you to complete document 1. The section 1 is Instructions to Vendors. This is a standard document and you can view it by clicking on the View button. The section 2 is the datasheet. You can expand and collapse these sections by clicking on the plus and minus signs. In the datasheet, you can see the ITV close references. In ITV close reference 2, you can see the different sections of the IFQ document. Section 1 to Section 5A are mandatory documents. From Section 5B onwards, you have to make selections as required or not required. As per the requirements of the procurement, do these selections carefully. Please note, if you select Conditions of Contract as required, contract data, letter of acceptance and the contract agreement form will get selected automatically as required. If Conditions of Contract is selected as not required, the purchase order form gets selected automatically as required. In here, you can add any additional documents applicable to the supply evaluation if required. In ITV clause reference 5.1, there are two selections. If you select the option 1, vendors shall quote for the full quantity of all the items. And if you select option 2, vendors may quote for single or more lots according to their capacity to perform the contract. Let's assume you want to procure 3 items under this procurement, for example 5 printers, 10 laptops and 2 scanners. So if you select option 1, vendors shall quote for all the 3 items. But if you select option 2, vendors can quote for single or more items. For example, under option 2, they can quote for laptops and scanners without quoting for printers. However, in both these options, they should quote for full quantity of the items, meaning that they have to quote for 10 laptops and 2 scanners, and they cannot reduce the quantity. Other information such like e-quotation validity period should be included. Then click on the Save button. At the latter part of the datasheet under ITV clause 17, you have to enter the other factors and post-qualification requirements. If you had selected option 2 in the ITV clause 5.1 of the datasheet, you have to enter other factors and post-qualifications separately for each of the items. Please note, you will see the item name text box only if you have selected option 2 in the ITV clause 5.1 of the datasheet. Enter the item name and click on the Add button under the other factors to type the other factors. Tick in the boxes if the requirement is mandatory, and also if you wish to get a proof document from the supplier for this. In the same manner, you can add the post-qualification requirements also. Let's assume you want the supplier to have experience in supplying similar items in the past 3 years. You can make the selection and tick on the boxes here if you require proof document and if it is mandatory. Type the name of the next item and enter the other factors. And also the post-qualification requirements. In the same manner, complete the other factors and post-qualification requirements for all the items. Finally, click on the Save button. Then let's go to the next section, Schedule of Requirements. Expand the section by clicking the plus sign. Click on Add Edit button. Then you get a new screen to enter the schedule of requirement. Click the drop down under the Items Not Entered section. Select the first item. Then the item will appear below like this. In here, you have to add the CPV code. CPV stands for Common Procurement Vocabulary. It is a categorization of goods, works and services with a code for the category which includes the item you want to procure. So click on the button Search by CPV code. Here you see 45 main categories. If you click on the triangle button of a main category, you can see the subcategories. You can either select the related subcategory manually or you can search here for the related CPV code. Please note, when you search on the CPV codes, the system does not recognize the terminologies of some items which are commonly referred in Sri Lanka. For example, you cannot search the word laptop, but instead you can search on portable computers. You may not find any code for the dal, but instead you can use the word lentils and you can find. Also, please make sure not to do spelling mistakes when you search CPV codes. It is important that suppliers had selected these codes under their profiles and then only they get displayed for selection in the next step. Okay, now you have to complete the remaining details of the schedule of requirement for the particular item. Check on the manufacturer authorization letter if you require it. Make the selection as required. Then the unit. In this example, we can select the unit as numbers, or if not, you have some other types of units like here, kilograms, meters, centimeters, boxes, as per the requirement you want. Then the quantity, whether you allow partial quantities or not. The final destination, delivery period, and whether you want the transportation to be done by the supplier. Once you complete the details for the first item, click on the update button. Then you can select the next item from the items not entered section. I'm going to select the laptops, my second item. Now I have to select the CPV codes. For this example, I'll select the CPV code for the office and computing machinery. Manufacturer authorization letter as required. Unit in numbers. Allow parcel quantities? Yes. Then I have to add the quantity first. Assume I need 10 laptops, and out of these 10 laptops I need 4 laptops for the Colombo 2 office. Delivery period is 30 days. Transportation required. And I need 6 laptops for the Colombo 4 office. Delivery period is 30 days. Transportation is required. Click on the update button and continue the same process for other items as well. You can go back to the previous screen by clicking the link "Go back to procurement." It is important that you reopen the schedule of requirement and confirm the items. You can confirm the items one by one, or else you can click on the confirm all button and confirm all the items at once. Next, see how you complete the section 4 technical specification and compliance with the specifications. Click on the button Add Edit. Select the item name from the drop down. You can download the Excel sheet to complete the specification and upload. If not, down below, complete the specification using the web application. Type the component description, purchases requirement, and check on the mandatory box if needed. Then click on the Save button and then click on the Add button to type the next component. Continue this process to add specification for all the items. You can go back to previous screen by clicking the link Go back to procurement. For the specifications also, it is important to recheck and confirm all the items. The remaining sections of the IFQ document will get auto-generated from the data you had already provided. You can check the quotation submission forms, the quotation submission form and the price schedule, and see whether it is in the correct order. If you had selected manufacturer authorization letter, that can also be viewed like this. The section 6 conditions of contract is a standard document. You can download the document by clicking on the download PDF button. Go through the section 7, which is contract data, and make it customized as per your requirement. Under section 8, you can view the contract forms such like letter of acceptance, contract agreement form, performance security form, or advance payment security form if you had selected them. You can download and view them. The next section is other related documents. In here, you can upload any other document that might be useful for the supplier to submit their quotations. For example, they can be photographs or catalogs of the items you wish to procure. Any document should be converted to PDF format before uploading. Selection of vendors. There are two methodologies to select vendors, either by all matching list or by selecting a random list. First, we will check on selecting vendors by using all matching list. Select all matching list and click Generate List. Now the system will display all the matching vendors for the CPV codes you have selected. The liaison officer first should click on the Check Uncheck button twice and then select the vendors appropriately. Then you have to scroll down and click on the Select button. If you want to use the method Select Random List, click on Select Random List and enter the number of vendors which you want the system to select for you. Like this. Go down and click on the Select button. If the Technical Evaluation Committee and Procurement Committee can log into the system, you can submit the quotation document to them by using the options of the latter part of this screen. Technical Evaluation Committee and Procurement Committee can review the document online and provide their comments, recommendations, and approvals. Liaison officer can go back to any of the activity conducted in the system and make corrections and resubmit to the Technical Evaluation Committee and Procurement Committee until they provide their approval for the IFQ document. If the TEC and PC cannot log in into the system to review the document, the liaison officer has to download and print the IFQ document, and I'll show you how you do that in the next screen. Go to Invite the Vendors. This is where you should download the IFQ document. You can get a printout and then submit this to the Technical Evaluation Committee and the Procurement Committee to get their approval manually. Sending the electronic invitation. After you have received the Technical Evaluation Committee recommendations and Procurement Committee approval, check these boxes and click on the Save button. Then you can see the Invite button here gets activated. If there are no error messages, only this Invite button gets activated. Otherwise, you have to correct the errors by going into the previous screens, like this. Please note, the Invite button will not get activated for Assistant Liaison Officers. Assistant Liaison Officers can conduct the related functions up to this point, but Invite button will get activated only for the Liaison Officers. Liaison Officers are responsible for the functions conducted by Assistant Liaison Officers. Therefore, Liaison Officers should review the previous screens carefully prior to the invitation. So if everything is okay, click the Invite button. After clicking the Invite button, you will be redirected to the View Procurement page. The procurement you just completed or you just invited will now be at the active procurements, or else will be at the pending procurements, depending on the date and time you selected to publish. Here you can click on the Action View button and then click on the e-quotation details to check the vendor acknowledgements and e-quotation submission counts. Please note, if you are idle for an extended period of time while processing any activity in the EGP system, the system will send you a pop-up message citing forbidden. If this happens, you should log out and log in back again. To rework on an uninvited procurement, you should go to Procurement Plan, View Procurements, and select your procurements from the Incomplete Procurement section. Then select the procurement, click on the Action button, and click on Edit. Then the system will guide you to the procurement which you were working on earlier. You can search the procurements from the search box or sort the procurements for ascending and descending orders by clicking on the two arrow marks in here. Thank you for watching this video. For additional questions, please contact info@promise.lk or call on 0112 151467. Additionally, you can also visit promise.lk and download the Procuring Entity Liaison Officer Guide.